And my mic. Okay. I am having a rough day. My shoulder really hurts, so I'm kind of a little bit all over the place. But we are gonna welcome to Piece of Pat Paint. We're gonna paint some stuff. We're gonna make some things. We're gonna finish Catwoman today. If we can get to Two Face, we're gonna try to get to Two Face. But yeah. So anyway, Doctor was all right. For those of you who are keeping track with the wild saga of my life. Sorry about the dead air there. That was weird. It's a lot of dead air too. Anyway, we're trying to get up to 500. So if you like what you see, or if you like art and stuff, you like artists and you want to support artists and things, definitely give us a like. Yeah. Anyway, we are in the middle of doing. I gotta finish up this. I was trying to quote on my post, but anyway, I'm trying to add a comment here, and then we'll go. And I'm gonna set this, and we're gonna get going. And I spelled something wrong, which is typical of me, which is fine. That's all right. Anyway, hope everybody's having a great week. It's been an interesting week so far. Went to see the doctor about my shoulder, and then I got sent to other doctors about other things, and it's been tough. I did finally get a little bit of sleep, but I had to inebriate myself heavily, which was that's not always my favorite way to do things. I'm not actually big on getting too inebriated in any way. At least not anymore. I liked that stuff better when I guess when I was younger. You get older and you just kind of start going, oh hey, maybe today I shouldn't. So all right, let's get started here. We're gonna turn that guy on. Boop. Okay, we were working on Catwoman, and we're getting close here. I want to do a little bit more work with her suit, but it is looking really nice. Probably just gonna bring a slight. I almost want to say like an edge highlight here to this situation. So I'm just gonna take a little bit. I'm gonna take a little bit of my white, a little bit of Payne's gray. These little lines. it's just to give it a little bit of definition. This isn't necessary for most people, you know. You might decide you were good. This is also, you can easily make a mistake here trying to add these little lines. But when you get them in, it really does help the overall look. Now they'll tone down a little bit once they dry. But it is going to be nice. She doesn't have a lot of stuff we've accented for her. You know, she's not as flamboyant. Kind of like Batman, but even with Batman, he's got that giant yellow on his chest. We're also trying to get them to match up, so we kind of want her to emulate a little bit of Batman and being that darker, more stealthy kind of paint scheme. Again, something like that's really just going to help kind of bring out those little panels. The only place I'm terribly worried about this is going to be right here. Also may help us kind of hide that section got damaged. Setting the line. Okay. You do not want to do this with your brush too wet or too dry. Oh, I made a mistake. Happy wax it. So we're just going to clean that up real fast. Get back on track. We'll let that dry. We'll come over to this other side. These other lines, we'll work these a little bit, and then we'll come back down there. So yeah, since these doctors don't seem to know anything, I started doing my own research, and I think what is going on is I've torn my rotator cuff, which is not exactly it's not like the greatest news to receive. But, you know, kind of knowing where we might be going, that's helpful. I'm trying to kind of work on it right now. Kind of keep moving it as best I can. I don't want it to, it's not good for it to just sit still all the time, you know? But I don't want to overdo it, so I'm trying to just be careful with it, you know? It's just smart moves. Now you could come through here. You could do different colors on these panels here if you wanted to, just for some ideas of how to, like, you know, maybe make this a little bit different, make it your own. Yeah, you could go with other colors. There's all sorts of things you could do. you could do a heavy OSL thing, like, to where it looks like the lights are hitting her differently, or she's in a certain place where the lights glow, or like I said, you have so many options on what can be done on a model like this that don't just paint it black necessarily and go on. That's what's so crazy about. That's one of the things I've always loved about kind of the Batman motif is like Batman himself as a character design isn't that crazy. It's not a bunch. No one ever. I mean, well, maybe Frank Miller, but there's not a whole lot of like extra to Batman stuff. It's usually, pretty tame color wise and stuff like that. Whereas the Rogues Gallery, they're all little wow. Which is kind of cool. Hi, it's good to see you, Sir McBeardsly. I'm doing all right. I'm pushing through. A lot of pain right now, but it's all right. I try not to let it keep me down for too long. I get really crazy, and I don't like doctors. Pretty much in general, like and it's not their fault. I just don't like. There's something about having to go in those holes and have somebody poke and prod at you and ask you a bunch of questions that just kind of, I don't know, it irritates a very special part of me. It doesn't like getting irritated, and it makes my life a little bit difficult when that part of me gets a little bit out of control. Because I start getting I get mad, real fast. Taps into my anger and impatience. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I've been debating on it for a while, and I just decided why not. Just to give her a little bit of a different color. We're not going to leave it this color either, where this is just the base. I think I'm going to get like a hot pink for these ears. Opera Rose. It's electric. It's like glowing. All those other pigs look so dull. Even the white looks like almost dull. That's so funny. Now this pink right here, this pink is super light, so that's one of the reasons I put that other one down first. Yeah, that's gonna work. Okay, so this is that pale terracotta, and it's just like I said, we're just gonna base coat it. And pale terracotta. Oh man. A little shaky today. definitely certain ways I'm holding my arm that make it hurt more. That's kind of where it's starting to lead me to this rotator cuff, because I'm really starting to think that that's what's going on here. It is rough, man. It's woo. Anybody's ever gone through one, you give my condolences and my sympathies, because I now feel your pain, literally. And you could even like, that's a little too much in there. But if you wanted to, you could make these sections in between a whole other color, you know. You can make straps and stuff like that through there. Lots of options, lots of ways you could go. Go for an eye. Going to Kana. Oh, fun. There you go. Pokemon deal over there. I am, let's see, Friday, I'm going to Enid, Friday and Saturday, to watch my oldest son compete in a robotics tournament. Which is super cool. Excited to go cheer him on. Get together a small cheering section. Super cool. This year's robot is like, it's a lot smaller and more compact than the other ones. It has this turret that fires these balls. Scoops up and fires these little balls. Which is cool. And then I've got a show coming up in March. That's what we're getting ready for. I will be in Oklahoma City at the fairgrounds for Eric's Tour Emporium is doing a collectibles and toy show thing. And we'll be there. To see if anybody wants to, you know, maybe get some Marvel stuff commissioned. Maybe get some DC stuff commissioned. Some Star Wars. Come on down. Come on out. If you got something in particular you need painted, I mean, you can always hit us up on, you know, social media to get quotes and things like that. It's always super easy. Damage is hard to kind of, because there's no actual ledge there left to accent, so you're trying to simulate it. And that one right there is pretty faded away, so it's super careful. and that takes a second, but like you can see, it really kind of makes her stand out because there's not a whole lot else going on with this model compared to, you know, our other rogues in the gallery. They all have some very uniqueness to them, and so their outfits are louder, and they're supposed to be. Doesn't mean we don't want to give her, you know, a little bit of fun. Fun. I was also contemplating, this is going to be weird, but I think we're going to do like one more round on these goggles, and then I think I'm going to add an ink to them so that they'll kind of get glossy. That's one of the fun things about an Indian ink is that it's going to finish shiny. At least shinier than my acrylics will. Look, we get it all right. The Indian ink will be a little bit smoother on the finish. Date is that Toy Expo? That's a good question. That is a good question. Let me look real fast. If you're watching Uncle Wayne, thanks for the comment. I appreciate it. Comment over on my Facebook. I'm not sure I'm going to look at this. Yeah, so I like that comment. Evocative and sexy, alluring, mysterious, spooky. It's exactly what we want. Exactly. Let's see. Eric's Toy Extravaganza is on March 29th at 9 p.m. At the General Pursing Building. Downtown or down in the fairgrounds, so definitely come by and check it out. All sorts of cool stuff's gonna be there. So like if you like toy things and stuff like that, man, I need to write that down and post it over there so I can keep talking about it, because I need to talk about that every time I have a show. I need to talk about that. I need to get post-it notes in here and shit and get myself more organized. I really need to clean this mother scratcher up. Okay. I gotta stay focused. My arm. I start getting off into something, and then that arm stops me, and I completely forget what I'm doing. I'm just so scattered right now, and I'm hoping we can get this arm fixed. That would be huge. It would really help me out a lot. We did get some cool stuff. I got my copy of Trench Crusades hardback, which is super cool. And then I got a light board for us to be able to transfer sketches to pen and ink, which is going to be really awesome. Just kind of get her hair back under control after having worked on flesh. We might have to do this again as we work on it, but we're definitely getting there. All right, so dry, but still all right. Now this is our Pelrose blush again. We're just gonna kind of clean everything up, give it one more nice thin coat here. Always try to remember, like, what way, like the way of people's skin actually moves and pulls. So, like, if you watch people a lot, the way they hold their face will really kind of dictate the way it looks like their skin is moving, which sounds weird, but it's real. At least it's real to me. I don't know, maybe I'm seeing something people don't. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. It's just a possibility. I'm definitely willing to see that possibility. Probably gonna give her some nice purple lipstick too. So we're trying to make this a little bit Kristen-esque. So we switched back over to that pale terracotta coming over on this side, which is just a slightly darker shade, right? Because we're trying to make sure that light is going from one side to the next. But we definitely want to get another coat in, because you can see it's a little splotchy, and we don't want that. We don't want to make her look like her whole face is completely sunken in. Again, that sunken of the eyes is really helpful from. I totally understand. Totally understand. I think we've got a better plan this time. I've gone to a couple of these expos with this this outfit before now, and I'm starting to kind of get used to what the clientele they're like, and that's like, I tell you what, as somebody who has, you know, worked business and stuff for a long time, whether it was, you know, culinary or whatever, getting to where you understand what the clients want, what they're looking for, that's super important. So, like, you know, they're not looking for Dungeons and Dragons stuff at this. They're just not. I might get lucky and grab a cell here or there, but that is not what those customers are there for. They are there because they're trying to capture some nostalgia from a different part, from their childhood. You know, that comic book nostalgia. They're looking for those old toys that they had when they were, you know, young men or young women, and young whatever, you know, thems. Anyway, not that I have a problem with that. Sometimes I forget, and I'm old, so I get frustrated. I think that's cool. I actually think it's cool. We let people, you know, like, shoot, man. You want to call yourself a pop bottle rocket? I don't give a damn. That's creative. It's like, you know, people yucking other people's yum. I'll never understand that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. My kind of idea is like we'll just kind of start tailoring what we do more and more to what they want. Just makes sense, you know? And then like as we get into, it's gonna be a hard one. We may have to switch brushes here. So that's that pale terracotta. Trying to just kind of darken up a few places that we know, I guess light's gonna hit it. It's not gonna hit necessarily right here quite as much, right? So we're trying to kind of soften it in. There's certain places where it should naturally be a little bit brighter than the other. And we got to pick a lipstick color. Like I said, I might come back and make. She's typically done blonde. I kind of like the idea of letting her have the brunette look because you know, Harley is already blonde. I know that Michelle Pfeiffer played Catwoman. She was blonde for sure. And I feel like she was blonde a lot in the comics. And we did have Halle Berry, so put some respect on her name. People forget that Catwoman. Man, Halle Berry almost united the world. For a brief moment, everything was all right. We all liked Halle Berry. And then I don't know what happened. I guess she stopped making movies. But I thought Halle Berry was single-handedly going to destroy racism for a little while. I was like, everybody thinks that chick's hot. Being a goober. Yeah, we definitely need to switch. I'm not going to try to do these super fine details with this cheapo that actually does all right. I mean, you know, it's an artist loft, which this comes from Michaels. It's not bad. But it's nothing like my real deal fine spotter Polinsky. This guy is the money ticket. Gotta breathe. Gotta breathe. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this with my shoulder all jacked up. I'm doing alright too. That wasn't too shabby. Woo-wee! rotate it like that so I can get the tip of the brush in there. I'm not fighting it because it's really easy to get in a fight trying to get into a corner on these things when you should just move your sculpture around and then find the spot. It's a little bit faster, a little bit easier. Okay, this is that umber, burnt umber, just underneath. Make sure we got everything all right. I'm gonna have to do another. White is like this. You're probably gonna have to do a few rounds of white. Okay. Let's see. So, Kristen would like if she had purple lips, which might be fun. I was thinking maybe we do like, I might need to make like almost maybe a magenta. Okay. Maybe some eyeshadow? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Think about eyeshadow? Maybe just a touch. You don't give it like too much. Or actually, you know what might be fun? Just to give her like accenting purple, so it's really dark purple. Kind of as an eyeliner. Oh, got it right on her eyeball. Now she looks like she's looking down. That was stupid. It's funny. That worked out alright. What I kind of want to do is do the Egyptian eye. Let's see, hold on. Egyptian eye. Maybe not quite like Cleopatra. That might be a little too much, but some of these are really cool. That's fun. We could do that in purple. Okay, so it's coming. Tiny little spot. This looks super on purpose. There we go. Okay, and it's just a This is that same purple from before that we use on her lips. On the magenta color we made earlier. If we have to, we can come back and we can flesh out a little bit of it to get it back to where we want it to start out. Because you're trying to give her just of makeup, you know, and Catwoman's kind of classy, so we just want to make sure her makeup's gonna be classy too. She's a classy lady. She's a classy lady for a thief. Okay, so maybe we do. Cerulean? Transparent blue? Man, I think maybe we go with like a teal. Can't stay. Best look. Hey, appreciate it, my friend. Dang it. Freaking sealed shut. This thing was awesome. I'm so glad I bought this. It's so nice. My whole hands. Appreciate you jumping in. That's awesome. I like it. It's great when people can catch us, and it's even better when you guys can jump there and make those comments. It's huge. I can't explain. I can't explain how much it is huge to us, but oof. It definitely lets YouTube know that this show is real and like we're live, and that's a thing that's actually happening. This is super thin. Maybe just too thin. Maybe a bit too thin. Yeah, we're all pretty real. Well, and like live comments are awesome. It's easy to like fake bot comments, I guess, after the fact. But like you have to be pretty big for them to want to expend the energy to live bot a small channel. I don't know if I like that. I do think I like the idea of maybe two little things, but it might be too hard. She's very small, so it might be too hard to get that little tiny click in, but I do like the two at the bottom like that. That's kind of fun. Wander around the house and meowing at something. I'm back here, buddy. Never know, he may actually come back here. Kind of funny like that. Look at us, Chris. We're doing good. I am hurting a lot, but I am determined to get this done. I really got to get her done today so I can stay on target. So I still got Two-Face and Penguin to paint. Harder on that and come back and redo those lines just to make sure they're going to match up real good. Okay. Almost like cat eyes, but not quite. Okay, now I'm going to give her like green eyes, I think. Is what I'm thinking. Like an emeraldy green too. So we go phthalo. I'm going to do a little bit of white. Just the tiniest bit of yellow here. Yeah, a little more. And just a little more. Really, there we go. super painful. Super painful. Just stay focused. Don't get too crazy. Okay. I love it. She looks good. She looks good. Very happy so far. Okay. Now we've got just some basic little housekeeping things. We should be in great shape. Woo! Okay, crazy part's done. That's the hard part. Getting those eyes to look right. Just a tiny. Okay, now. Okay. One more. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Alright. Let that get all done up. Now that's working. We'll put some more color in these ears. Oh, we still have to do all the trim over here too. Come back and do all that. carefully work around all these little bits. If you make a mistake, just get in there and clean it up real fast. I don't even know if that's a mistake. I might just be tripping. Just take your time. This part gets a little tedious. We did some of this earlier. So for those of you just now joining us, you didn't miss anything. You get to see this little fun little game of chasing down all this. But if you start it, you have to do all of it. So don't like just leave it undone. Even this stuff that's on the back of the head, where like most people aren't even going to see it. My show, my dude. Hope he's all right. These in the back are a little bit harder to find. Print didn't come out quite as good as we wanted to. Just kind of leave it there. I am going to do a little neckline though. I appreciate it. Thank you much. Oh man, it was looking great, so I put a giant freaking thing of dag nabbit. Is it on my thumb? Oh shoot. Woo! That was a little scary. Alright. Just have to redo this line. That freaked me out. Okay. That brush is too big. Kind of making some silly mistakes. I'm trying to get this wrapped up for us. Okay, now, talking about this earlier. I'll get this last thing done. And then if I have to do any touch-ups, I'll do those. I think you guys get the general gist of what we're doing. Okay, so this is Indian ink. So it's gonna finish a little bit different than the acrylic paint. It's a little bubbly right now, but so your Indian inks, number one, they stand the viscosity of it is very different because it's an ink and not a paint. So it's going to have a little bit of a different, like I said, it actually should, when it dries, it should dry a little bit shiny, semi-gloss, which for a pair of goggles should be right on the money. Shake up ink though, because it always gets all bubbly and weird. I should have shook it up earlier when I very first thought about it, is when I should have started shaking it so it would have a chance to chill out. Like I said, the way it likes to flow doesn't work quite the same as paint. It's similar, but not exactly the same. Okay. Like I said, so that ink should set up on there, and it should look real good once it's all dried up. And it'll give her goggles kind of a shine, so they look more like, you know, goggles. So there we go. Catwoman done. So that's Catwoman and Batman together again. And then we have Joker and Harley. They're done. So they're looking fantastic. And then tomorrow we'll start Two-Face. He looks awesome. Two-Face is gnarly as hell. So it should be really cool. Really excited about that piece. So there we go. Yeah, it's gonna be nice. Good. Super cool. Alright, let me pull that down. Turn that off. Thanks for coming to see me. Appreciate anybody who comes by and watches these things. You guys are awesome. Thanks, man. I really dig it too. I love Batman. I'm a big Batman fan. So it's kind of been fun. I want to do some Star Wars too. Be cool to do some Jedi, and Darth Vader would be cool, but like, I don't know. Maybe we'll do like the if I do a Darth Vader, maybe we'll do like the Hoth colors, or not Hoth colors, but Bespin colors. So like orange and blue, on each other. That might be cool. But yeah, I'm gonna try to. So a lot of these places I've been going to sell stuff at that I'm getting in at. Definitely like that stuff. Well, I don't know. It depends. Like some things I like Marvel better. Some things I like DC better. It just depends. So yeah. Watto would be fun. Watto would be cool. I'd love to paint a Watto. That's for real. Even if it was just like his face, I definitely paint a Watto. So, but we're looking good. Catwoman looks great. There she is. So, and now we've got the two couples, the royal couples of DC, if you will, the madness couples and the order couples. Yeah, for sure, man. But yeah, if you like what you saw, give us a like and a subscribe. Stuff super helpful. Really helps us grow the channel. Gives us some gets us out there, and draw attention to what we're doing, and it gives me a boost. As a personal thing, it's nice. Makes you feel good. I think everybody kind of understands that, right? I don't think it needs to be said, but you should say it anyway, right? Say thank you. So, thanks to everybody watching. Appreciate you. We'll be back. hopefully tomorrow. My shoulder's still jacking with me, so I'm trying to hold on and do as much as I can. I don't like. I'm very hard to stop. I like to continue moving. So when I can't move and I have to stop, I get real grumpy and get crazy. So I'm trying to get myself back in the swing of things. It's been a long journey on this health scare, but we're getting. I feel like maybe we're getting somewhere finally. So definitely my head's a little bit cleaner as far as like I don't feel so seizury lately, but man, the pain is crazy. Um, I don't think I knew how much I was hurting while my head wasn't functioning properly. But man, now I know. And maybe it's getting worse. I don't know. None of that really matters. Anyway, you guys are awesome. We'll be back. Take care of yourselves. Take care of somebody else. Be nice to somebody else. Be nice to people you don't know. Be nice to yourself. You know, you deserve it. We'll talk to you later.